From Visgrad 24, breaking news. It's a video of the moment a failed car bomb exploded at the main square in Amsterdam, Netherlands. Car is on fire after a small explosion. The police believe it was a deliberate attack. It's the same location where 5 people were stabbed a few days ago. What, you didn't hear very much about this, did you? Some bloke trying to scatter himself and 200 other people across Dam Square hasn't been the big news story for some reason today. They're still talking about adolescents and how they're going to set up hubs so everybody can watch it. Weird how they didn't do that with the 3 Girls documentary though, isn't it? You'd think informing a few million kids the best way to avoid getting rattled above a greasy kebab shop would be quite important for the general public as well, but they don't want to talk about that. The other big story today is this one. Buy our chlorinated chicken if you want lower tariffs, Trump tells Britain. Yeah, that's what they want you talking about today. So I'll show you the video of the failed beardy weirdy car bombing, explain exactly what's going on in Amsterdam, tell you precisely why the government and the online woke authoritarians don't want to talk about the important problems and instead talk about adolescents on TV, a blatant psyop, and talk about chlorinated chicken, and then finish up by explaining exactly why I'd be more than happy to not just eat chlorinated chicken, but gleefully spray chlorine on the contents of everything I've ever consumed from a British kebab shop, because I've been stupid enough to do that in the past. And then I found out there were blowtorching chickens on dirty shopping trolleys covered in noxious chemicals. So yeah, chlorinated chicken's not the problem. Brainwashed Bronze Age savages filling the pockets with rat poison and high explosive is a problem. I'm sure this won't prove too much of a surprise to anybody. Okay, here's the video of what is now your average bog standard Thursday morning walking to work across Dam Square in Amsterdam. You're looking at the car in the bottom right hand corner, there you go, and everybody jogs off, not too concerned about it. They're like, hey, it's Thursday. This is what happens on Thursdays. Strangely enough, the BBC don't seem to want to come. Michael was caught in a public convenience in New York with his trousers around his ankles. He may have been trying to get a gobble. Dutch police said they believe the driver of a car that caught fire on Thursday following an explosion in central Amsterdam may have been attempting to commit suicide. Police arrested a 50-year-old Dutchman. Was he? Let me ask you a question. How many Dutch suicide bombers were there in the 1980s? You can have the whole decade. January 1st, 1980 to December 31st, 1989. How many Dutch suicide bombers did we get? Do you get suicide bombers in Christian countries? Is that a thing that they do regularly? No. Where do you get suicide bombers? Oh yeah, all the places where regulars at Alan's Marvellous Snack Bar tend to congregate. Police detectives are keeping all scenarios open, but have a strong suspicion that the man wanted to take his own life, police said on social media platform X. Earlier, police said camera footage had shown the fire was caused by an explosion, which happened among a crowd of people on Amsterdam's busy Dam Square. Images on social media show a man with burning clothes close to a small red car with flames billowing from its windows. Police are seen extinguishing the flames before taking the man into custody. Last week, a man injured 5 people near Dam Square in a stabbing rampage. Police identified the suspect as a 30-year-old Ukrainian national from the eastern Donetsk region, whose prosecutors said had acted with terrorist intent. Yeah, and if you believe that, I've got a bridge to sell you. This was merely a car fire because the bloke was trying to light a Marlboro and he dropped the cigarette lighter and it happened to land in a bag of like deodorant and that, and he left it there for 10 minutes because he got distracted, and then it caused a small explosion. That's what happened. And all the stabbing incidents, the mass stabbing incidents in Europe, it's Ukrainians doing that. Although, judging by some recent images of Ukrainians I've seen on X, maybe it was Ukrainians. Remember this one from Inish Live? Ukrainian refugees welcome to Ireland. Yeah, they're Ukrainian. About as Ukrainian as the DC sniper. So that's enough of that. Let's not bore ourselves with mere tales of mass death and the fact that it's pure luck and nothing else that's caused the deaths of dozens of people there. Pure luck. random chance because the governments of Europe are doing absolutely nothing about the millions of unvetted, hairy-arsed fighting age men pouring into Europe. No, let's talk about the important stories that are all over the news and on X today, because this is what the people will allow you to talk about regularly. Buy our chlorinated chicken if you want lower tariffs, Trump tells Britain. And unlike the last story, this is getting published everywhere. The BBC and everybody else is loving this one. Former US President Donald Trump has suggested that the UK should import chlorinated chicken from the US in exchange for reduced tariffs. This proposal has sparked a debate in the UK about food safety standards. Some argue that chlorination is a safe method used in the US, while others express concerns about the underlying reasons for its use, such as poor animal welfare conditions. I'm going to do this quickly because this story annoys me. There's many things that have made me embarrassed to be British in the last few years, especially the response to the pandemic, when people with integrity, like Matt Letizia, who didn't have to speak up about anything, but were dragged down and cancelled by millions of people, the same people who bang the pots for the NHS, the same prudish, insecure, arrogant, smug know-it-alls, despite the fact they're wrong all the time, who cancelled everybody, especially during that era when the lockdowns were going on, who attacked and tried to criminalise and fire anybody who disagreed with them and grassed on the neighbours and basically acted like a snake in the grass. Those people, a significant minority of British people, embarrass me. And it's the same here. First of all, why are you talking about chlorinated chicken? Who cares? It's a non-story, and that's why the BBC's pushing it. It's a non-story. They already spray bagged salads and all sorts of stuff with chlorine. It doesn't do anything. The real problem in this day and age isn't people eating bagged salads with chlorine on them or even chlorinated chicken. The real problem is people eating absolute trash. That's why half of the women on the high street have got a body like a bin liner full of coleslaw. 60% of the country is obese. And apparently 1 in 5 people is a raspberry ripple. If you believe that, you'll believe anything. 1 in 5. On paper, there's more disabled people in the UK than you'd find at the Special Olympics. It's like the entire nation's inhabited with clones of Stephen Hawking. It's a national embarrassment. The problem isn't chlorinated chicken or chlorinated salad or anything else. It's eating trash and not doing any exercise. That's the problem. So if you're one of these knobheads who's crying about chlorinated chicken, I'll just ask you to answer 3 questions. A, have you ever bought a bagged salad, ate it, and felt any negative consequences as a result of it? B, have you ever been on holiday to America and eaten chicken? If so, congratulations, you've had chlorinated chicken. The chicken probably wasn't the issue if you were on holiday in Florida. It was the 18 pints a night you drank while you were partying. It genuinely baffles me that this is the stuff people want to talk about. We all drink and smoke and don't do enough exercise, and people put powder up the nose and inject poison into the veins, and they're sitting here going, oh, I don't fancy a bit of chicken if it's been sprayed so it's not bubbling with salmonella. All right, talk about the terrorists, don't talk about the chicken. It's a non-issue, and if you're discussing it at length today, you're an idiot. All right, that'll have to do you, because I'm a busy man. I'll see you all tomorrow. Let me know what you think in the comments, as usual. That's me, Toodle Pip. See you later.